Good morning, everybody. I am happy to have you with me today, and I'm going to be trying to get these lives that I'm doing running up on my other feeds. I don't want to have to do this afterwards because it's in the morning. So if you're with me right now, then you're just with me as I do this. I'm going to try and edit this stuff out after I leave the live up. But for now, just trying to get that in. Where in how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that with a brain? It's 7 in the morning and nothing makes sense, and my hair looks really awesome. I can just realized as I looked at this, I'm like, oh, fantastic. All right, let's see. So we're going to share this. Oops. Well, good morning. I haven't even made my coffee. That's how early it is. Just so you know, that's how early it is. Oh my goodness. Let's see. And then we're going to share it. Nope. I'll do that. I'm trying to share it into my groups, and my tired brain is not thinking about it that way. Oh, here we go. Yay! She figured it out. Whoop, whoop. Okay. One more, I promise, and then we're ready. I mean, I did hop on a little bit early, so I should be okay, and FYI, I told you all that I did not think that I was going to be able to give you specific times as to when I would be able to be here or not be here. This is why. Because it's, Sunday morning. My little is next door, and we're going to hope that we don't wake her up. Otherwise, we will have a guest on our first day of Christmas gift to you. All right. Oh yeah. Every time that it comes up, like all I can see is the big old colic in the back of my head. Clearly, I haven't done anything, right? So my hair's washed. How about that? Okay, we're going to turn on live on Instagram as well. So just give that a second. Like I said, if you joined me any earlier than this, you got to see me getting things all set up. And I'm sorry about that, because that wasn't necessarily to be seen. I'll try to edit that out when I have this hosted later. And just a reminder, because I've kind of written this stuff and posted it in different places, but what I am anticipating doing is creating a guide at my Facebook page. And the guide in my Facebook page will have the videos, will have the workbook links. So it'll be all nice and neat in one space. At the end of this 12 days of Christmas gifts, so on the 24th, we'll have had a whole workbook, and I actually will give you a link to the entire thing. But what I'll be doing throughout is just dropping each day whatever it is that we're going to be talking about on that particular day. So on this first day of Christmas, I can't believe I'm actually looking like over my shoulder. Looks like the sun is rising. I thought the sun didn't rise until like, I don't know, some craziness, like 7:40 in Minnesota. it's winter. So we're here and we're cozy. And on this first day of Christmas gift that I wanted to give to you, that I thought we could sit down in the morning and do, just to practice. So some days we'll do practices. Some days we're going to do meditations. Oh yes, it's going to happen. You're going to do some morning meditations with me. It's kind of the reason why I wanted it to be at the start of your day. And some days, it'll just be a little combination. It'll be a little teaching and maybe a little meditation. I also will have links to those meditations in the guide on Facebook. as for those of you who are following me on Instagram, in the IGTV feed, I will always give you a link to where I'll be housing all of this information. But it is actually being housed on my learntoloveyourstory.com. So you can always go to the bio and link over to my website. And it should be within a day or two pretty easy to find the page where I've hosted the 12 days of Christmas. All right, well, let's get started. So day one, my first gift to you is this idea of letting go of something that doesn't serve you. Okay, so let's go back to my lovely little elf story. Oh my goodness, if you missed my elf story and you need a good laugh in your life, this 20 minutes, you will not be disappointed that you listened to it. I'm sure that the elf story itself was only about 5 or 10 of that, maybe 10, because it's kind of a twofer. It's 2 elf stories. Elf on the Shelf and Dr. Natalie, whew, we have a history. Let's just say we have a history. So if you need a good laugh, go watch the live from this last Friday. I started this whole thing on holiday burnout, and I gave you this lovely little story about how my Elf on the Shelf antics with my son were very charged by this idea that I wanted to please other people, by this idea that I needed to keep up with the neighbors, with Pinterest, with, being the best mom in the universe with how I elf on the shelved things. And that intensity creates toxic stress. That holiday stress, that stress in life really comes from that comparative nature that we get into, where we are continually trying to compare ourselves to other people. And that doesn't serve us at all. So this may be the one that you choose, and it may not. But it's one that I would highly suggest, because I am certain in some way, shape, or form, it is coming up for you this holiday season, because it does, because you're normal, right? So if it is that you're trying to keep up, cook all the cookies or bake all the cookies, you're trying to keep up by doing the elf on the shelf the way that everybody else does. You're trying to keep up by, making an Instagram perfect or a Facebook perfect or a whatever perfect photo of your family, a card, a letter. I used to do letters, and I appreciate the people in my life that find the time to do it. I don't. So I don't know. Follow me on Learn to Love Your Story, because I'll probably tell you more about my kids there than I do in a letter for Christmas at the end of the year. So I want you to be really thoughtful about this, because it could be something that's related to the level of holiday stress. I'm open though. You can, if this is something that you want to have a broader reach into your new year, hopefully by the end of these 12 days of Christmas, you have a really solid start to that new you. What? By the 24th, you could already be ahead of the game for the new year, New Year's resolutions. And really, new year, new life, it's more about just that start, that fresh start, right? So how does letting go of something that doesn't serve you create a fresh start for you, really? Well, I think about it, part of what gets you here, I've had, some blogs and blogs about this, but part of what gets us to the point of life that we're in is that we did certain things, right? And if we continue to have the same patterns in our life, it's like walking the same path. You have a map on where you want to go. And if you're following the same roads and the same side streets, you're always going to get back to where you are. So doing what you know, or doing those unconscious patterns in your life, really it just won't serve you if you want to get to a new destination, if you want to be a new version of yourself, right? So I want you to think about this in that way. Like, it isn't a good or not good thing that you've done these things. It's not a good or not, well, can get toxic stressy around the holiday season. You can want to murder someone. Can we be real? If you keep comparing yourself and like only feeling like your holiday is good enough if you attain, I have to have the dinner look this way. I have to have the house look this way. I have to have the cookies baked by this time. I have to do the caroling. But, when you start doing that, that does get toxic stressy. Sometimes things in our life that are subconscious patterns aren't necessarily not good. They're just not serving. That's why I use that language. They're just not helpful anymore. They were a road on our map to the destination of here. And I have compassionate awareness for who I am right now. At 45, I'm totally flawed and totally still evolving. I hope you are totally flawed and totally still evolving too. So, want you this week to use the journal. There's a journal entry in the workbook. Oh, yes, I am a therapist. Come on, people. So, use the journal to really do that self-exploration. What isn't serving me? Maybe this holiday season, or maybe more broadly. And how do I let that go? That's a bigger trick. So I do have you in the journal entry kind of, put your thoughts down about that, right? Put your ideas down about how that might work. Try some things. Always encourage whatever's coming up for you is genuinely going to help you better than anything that any expert offers you. Why is that? Because you're the expert in you, right? I might be the expert in clinical psychology. By the way, this thing is dinging in the background, so we're just going to turn that off. I'm not going to lie to you because it's going to drive me crazy. I'm not even sure I can cut that part out, but hey, so you got to see the colic again in the back of my head. Super awesome. But here's something that doesn't serve Natalie is that even though I really, really, really powerfully want to let go of the programming and conditioning of how I look, this is terribly difficult for me. So one of the things I'll be giving up is wearing makeup for the 12 days of Christmas. That's one of the reasons why I said it this early in the morning, although I can't guarantee you how early or exact times. This is going to live on my Facebook, on my IGTV without any makeup. And that is something that's hard for me, right? Like I brushed my hair, but I haven't done my hair. I have a lovely colic that I inherited from my father. On the back of my head, there's a reason why I have to do the poo for the hair helmet that my kids make fun of me for. This is something I'm going to let go of, right? It's not that it's not good that you're going back to an old pattern. It's that it's not helpful or serving you. So part of the process of getting there is that compassionate self-awareness. I've talked about this over and over. You can read about it in my blogs. You can watch other vlogs on compassionate self-awareness. If you actually go to my blog, one of the categories is building self-awareness. Go watch, right? There's a ton of stuff that goes into that category. It's all about bringing out of the automatic how you've done things and then shifting to a new way of doing things. So the other piece in this, and this is the other thing I would encourage you to journal about, the other piece in this is really, I want you, as you build this self-awareness of something that's not serving you, like catching yourself comparing to the Joneses, comparing to the other moms and their elf on the shelf antics, right? As you're doing that, once you catch it, that's building your observer self, right? Now that we're talking about it, somewhere in your mind, you're trying to be aware of this. As soon as you become aware, hey, it's happening in this moment right now. I'm freaking out. It's midnight. I'm trying to figure out where to put this elf. I'm about to put him in a chandelier and burn him. Not a good idea. Like as soon as you catch it, compassion is the first thing. That's the first thing. Be kind, be understanding. Of course, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You're stressed. It's the holidays and you're comparing yourself to these ethereal, not real people that you think, are doing the elf on the shelf better. Not helpful, right? For me with the makeup, as soon as I catch myself or I hear myself talk about this lovely colic on the back of my head, stop. Compassion. I've got 45 years of social conditioning that tells me I should look a certain way. And I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on makeup and hair and all the things. When I get up in the morning, this is not who I present to the world usually. So to do this with you, this is what I'm letting go of. And that doesn't mean that my brain lets go of the automatic, I want to have put makeup on and done my hair, right? Doesn't mean that you've let go of comparing yourself to your neighbors, comparing yourself on how well you're doing the holiday or how well you're doing anything in life, right? But it no longer serves you. So first, observer, right? We have awareness, then right away, compassion, be kind, understanding. You know why you're doing this. And then the third part to this is to then shift your attention. Shift your attention to a new thing to do. And that's of your choosing. And so we go back to the fact that you're the expert in you, right? I could give you ideas on what to shift to, but they will never be as solid as ideas that you come up with yourself, because you know you, so you know what resonates for you. If you come to me and are like, oh, I totally gave up makeup a long time ago. I mean, the patriarchy. Just kidding. But seriously, like, maybe you did that on your journey, but your version of giving that up and what you look to might not resonate for me, right? So for me, my compassionate journey on giving up makeup and sitting with you and talking in the morning, it has far more to do with turning my mind to, I want to be the kind of person, the kind of friend, sister, mother that loves all parts of myself. The part that wakes up at 5 and the part that, comes online with you Friday live at 5. By that time, I've put makeup on, right? So if I want to be that, that's what I'm going to turn my mind to. Somebody else's version of replacing this old behavior won't work for me, but my version of it may, and I'll try some things. I'll coach myself that direction. If that doesn't work, I'll find something else. And this is the process that I really would encourage you to do in letting things go that don't serve you. So first that awareness, then immediately the compassion. So those are step 1 and 2, but it's kind of a, you know how I talk about it, compassionate self-awareness. It's kind of a twofer. And then when you've brought into your awareness this thing you don't want to do anymore, like be all worried about what people think of me because I don't have makeup on this morning, or, be all worried that I haven't done the right elf on the shelf stuff, right? If you're watched my fun little Friday antics of Dr. Natalie and the elf on the shelf, or whatever your version of what you're noticing is contributing to your toxic stress this season or in life that you want to see some change with. Compassionate awareness. Then shift from doing the thing you've always done and following the path on the map that brings you right here where you are, which is a fine place to be. Try to forge a new path and apply new ways of approaching whatever that thing is that isn't serving you differently, and see what that gets you. Maybe it'll get you in a better spot, maybe not, right? It's okay. We're all just human. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I will drop in this live in the comments the link to the workbook so that you can get started today. And as I said at the beginning of this simulcast, I will be having like a guide within the Facebook page. So that'll be the easiest place, excuse me, the easiest place to go, because the video that I did, the workbook will all kind of be together in one spot, which will be really useful. The end of the 24th or the 12th day, so on the 24th, we'll have a full workbook, and I'll also create a link on my website so that you can get the whole kit and caboodle together. But as we go through the 12 days of Christmas together, I'll just be dropping them each day with you. Stay compassionately self-aware. Try and let go of something that doesn't serve you. And I hope you continue to have a much better holiday season with less murderous thoughts in your head. Bye, everybody.